Well, hello and welcome to the first of series of TFS presentation, the Team Foundation Server 2010 presentation for developers this time. My previous presentation was for quality assurance specialists about test manager and how to perform automated tests and how to work with your testing environment. This time it's for normal developers who are working with TFS, creating software and using all the features of TFS, not just testing. Yet we will, although we will work with test as well, mainly with test-driven development, when I will be showing you the concepts of test-driven development. We will review unit tests and many other things, well, very close to everything that you can work with in Team Foundation Server. But in this particular presentation, I'm going to show you how to work with source control in Team Foundation Server. I found that many people are installing TFS as a replacement for SourceSafe. That's previous source control from Microsoft that was working for us for many years. However, the source control is just a small part of what TFS is about and what TFS is capable of doing. However, storing the source files and controlling versions is paramount, and it's the basis for everything else, for all other features of TFS, and you will see that. So perhaps it's the thing that we should work first with. And to begin with, let's open the project. Let's imagine that you have already installed the TFS and you know how to connect to your TFS project. If not, please either review the my previous presentation for quality assurance managers, or the short presentation that will be done later for for absolute rookies in software development. However, you need to do such thing as go to View menu and open the Team Explorer, which is already opened here. And I'm already connected to my project, but if you are not connected, you can use this button. Select the server, or you can press Servers button and choose one. And from collection, choose the project that you need, and then click the Connect. Now we are going to create a new project, and project not in the in sense of TFS, where project means very high level abstract. That means that like, for example, the project could be Microsoft Office suite, but below it has many other projects like Word, Excel and so on. So we are going to create a new software project. And we're going to work with C#. And we are going to create class library. And we will name it Shapes. Now, before we will click OK, as we are about to work with source control, we have to click this checkbox, so it will be added to source control. Principally, when you are creating a new project and you are the only one who will work with that project for some time, and you don't want anyone to interfere with your work, some people tend to not click the add to source control and to not add their project to their to the source control, and do it later when they are pretty sure they've done everything that was needed to do alone. But that's not necessary, because you can simply add it to source control, but then check out everything from source control, so you will lock the editing for other users, and so they will not be able to either interfere with your work or see what you are doing. Usually such behavior of not adding to source control means that someone is either a newbie and he doesn't feel like he's professional, or perhaps he's not professional at all. So be careful when you're not adding new project to source control, as this may damage your image. Okay, so we've created a new project, we've added it to we are adding it to source control, we are adding it to Sharp project, and when we are adding it to the project, it will create a new folder. In this case it will be named shapes. Okay, and it's added. As you may notice, there is a little sign in Solution Explorer, and this means that this file was added. This plus means that a file was added and it's not in the source control yet. So all we have in the source control on Team Foundation server is the directory for shapes solution, but not the solution itself yet. Now, as we are about to work with shapes, we will rename this class to rectangle. Yes, I want to rename also all references. Okay. And let's add two properties. It will be double, and one of them will be height. And one of them will be width. So we've added two automatic properties, and we are going to save this class. Now, every time you are working with a project which is in source control, all the changes that you are making are not saved automatically, and in case of sudden restart, for example, you can lose them, of course. And all these changes are saved in what is called pending changes, and you can view them through View, Other Windows, Pending Changes. Here we are. So what you see here is all files in which you made changes. And change add means this file is going to be added to the solution on source control, otherwise it would be added. And as the best practice, when you're editing, for example, some methods and so on, it's better to put something into comments, or at least the reason why you did it, so everyone will see maybe your intentions or some important notes that you would like others to see. And just like everywhere in Visual Studio, there are many ways to do the same things. For example, you can right-click the either solution or project and just click View Pending Changes. You will see the same window. And there are many ways, at least 3 ways to check in. One from this window, second from menu, and even for from any particular file. Talking about best practices, when you are doing check-in, you can enforce it on Team Foundation server side, and probably it's the best idea to not allow checking in the code which cannot be built. So first thing that your Visual Studio, your local Visual Studio will do, it will try to build the code and then only then check in to the source control. It doesn't mean that this code will build on server. I mean, it can be working on your machine, but it will not be working on any other's machine because of some missed references and etc. But at least it will be code that could work with no very awful logical mistakes. Another thing is code analysis. As the rule of thumb, enable it. Enable the code analysis to at least the Microsoft minimum recommended rules. In this case, with every build, your code will be checked with these rules. So by default it's switched off. Switch it on, save your project, and every time you build your project, you will see whether you violate some rules. And as you can see in output, the code analysis shows 0 errors and 0 warnings. Probably it's because we have no code. We have just a class with two properties. However, sometimes developers are making mistakes, and these mistakes could go through quality assurance undetected, and fortunately code analysis helps you to discover them and fix before they will do any damage. It could be about coding issues, best practices, even about naming conventions, whatever you prefer. So let's see the pending changes. And let's see what else we have here. First thing is work items. Well, apart from files that you were either changed or added or deleted or whatever. there are work items. And what is work item is well, actually, whatever record regarding your project, regarding your task, they are work items. This could be bug, this could be task, which you are completed in order to create this project. Whatever you are doing, it should have work item connected to it. When you're doing something, it should have a task. So someone is giving you a task to create this project. Someone is giving you a task to fix that bug. So the task will be linked to bug, and your code, your check-in will be linked to that task. So later, when we will make build of that code in TFS server, we will see that this build contains 10 check-ins, and each of these check-ins is connected to such task, and task is connected to bug. And perhaps this means that this bug is resolved in this build. So there is a big logical link, and that's why we need these work items. They are showing the reason why you did something. And again, as the best practice, as a TFS administrator, you should switch on the rule which does not allow check-ins without which are not linked to work items. If you cannot find the work item, ask your either project manager, or if you have such privileges, create the work item yourself. Create the task that says that you should do what you've done. It only takes a minute or two, but it will bring a great order to your project, and will add reason to what you are doing. So we are going to link this code to a previously created work item. It's empty at the moment, but we will go and check for my tasks. Here we are. So these are all tasks that are assigned to me. Currently there are 10 tasks, and here is the needed one. Create a class library called shapes, and you can go to that task if you want to, and see who created it, how much time was assigned to it, how much time is remaining, and how much of that work is completed, how many hours, of course. And important thing here, your screen may look differently because of different templates that are using in TFS. So this is the default agile template, but for example, if you are using the Microsoft's Scrum template, there will be no such thing as time management. So the original estimate will disappear, and it's very bad. That's why I would personally prefer the Agile instead of Scrum. So I checked in. I checked the checkbox of this task. So I'm linking what I've done to this task. The check-in action. If I've completed the task, that then I'm selecting here resolve. Otherwise I would select associate, which means this is intermediate result, it's not the final yet. When I click resolve, this will close the task. It will mark it as completed. Now, just as I said that it's the best practice to put something into comment, let's do it. Initial check in of shapes. Oops. And it's nearly like everything we needed. We can click here whether all the policies are satisfied. These policies is what the administrator of TFS is setting, like you should build before you check in, or during the build you should perform code analysis. And there are no conflicts in this workspace, meaning I'm not trying to rewrite something that was updated during my work. So I can just check in. And now, as you can see, all files changed the sign to lock, and this means that they became read-only. They are read-only for me. I cannot make changes here. In fact, the settings in this Visual Studio are saying that it will automatically check out for edit when I'm trying to edit. In your particular Visual Studio, you may find that it will ask you whether you want it. Yeah, check out automatically. Or we can prompt for checkout or prompt for exclusive checkouts, which means no one else will be able to edit the same file. So it was checked out automatically, but we can undo it, undo pending changes, which means that whatever I've done will be discarded. Oh yeah, I'm pretty much sure. Very good. So now this project is read-only. All files in my file system were marked as read-only, and everyone is able to connect to TFS. Well, the one who has such rights, they can connect to TFS and fetch the latest files, like this way, getting latest version, and all files were replaced with the ones from TFS. Now, being administrators of TFS, when you are administrator of TFS, Team Foundation Server, you are able to perform some administrative tasks like right from Visual Studio. As I said about the check-in policies, you can create them right from here, from Team Explorer. Just right-click your project, go to Team Project Settings, and here, for example, you can add new members to your project and edit areas and iterations and some portal settings, and in this case we need the source control. So pretty much enough without going to a SharePoint portal. You can do it right from here. If you need something from portal, you can click Show Project Portal and go there. So we'll go to Source Control, And here we have the check-in policy, and we can add as many policies as we want, and just click add. And there are 4 types of check-in policies. Like you can check whether the unit tests were running, and the specified list of tests is running fine on your code before you can check in, or that code analysis is running before check-in, or that the code builds before check-in, and if the work item is associated with every check-in. So we are selecting work item, and by the way, as I said, you can set as many policies as you wish, and we see only 4 here. It's only because 4 of them were installed. And you can install third-party check-in policies, and you can write your own if you wish. So it's very extendable. But in this particular case, we have 4 of them, and usually it's enough. And we are creating the work item policy, and it cannot be even edited. It's very simple. It's a Boolean. Yes, we must have work item associated with each check-in. I'll just click OK, and the policy is saved. From now on, no one can perform check-in without associating with work item. Now let's open one of our other tasks and perform some changes to the projects and to the project, and test whether it really works. Now we'll open work items and team queries, my tasks. Just double click it. I said double click it. Here's the list of my tasks, and I will choose the one with create area property on rectangle. And here in description there is some code that I will insert into here. I automatically checked out the code. Let's make it public, double area, and it will be a read-only property. Get alright. Width, length. I guess length is not what we need here. Width, height. Yep. And of course here will be return. Very good. Very simple. So these are the changes that we've made. Let's build it. Yeah, it builds. No errors so far. Now let's see pending changes. Okay, so we've edited the rectangle.cs, and now we have to check it in. And let's type it in command that we implemented the area property. Very good. And now, without associating with work item, we just type check in. Oops, we cannot. However, we can overwrite the check-in, so that can pose some sort of problem if you allow overrides. This means that yes, I didn't check in, yes, I violated the rule, and for example, my code doesn't build, I don't have associated work items, I don't pass the code analysis, but I don't give much attention about it, and I will just maybe type a reason about it like this one, and I will overwrite, I will click OK, and it will work. Yeah, not good. Such overrides should be done only when it's absolutely necessary. For example, when you have to check in the code which doesn't build, but you have the policy which enforces the build quality. When you, for example, this can be a absolute legal situation when on this workstation it doesn't build because you don't have that references, but you made some minor code changes, and well, you know that on all other machines it will build, and you must perform these changes as fast as possible. So then you can overwrite, yes, but in other cases this is a big evil. So now, as you can see, we should associate with one or more work items. So we'll go to work items, and our query is still open. That's very good. And still, let's click refresh. Yep, all of them are still here. And our task is create area property on rectangle, exactly what we've started with, and we set the check-in action to resolve, which means the task will be closed after that. And let's just check in. Very good. So we checked in and the task was closed. It's not anymore in our list of active tasks, and the default query of my tasks in fact shows you the tasks that are in active state, which means they're not closed yet, and this allows you to see what task you still have opened, and in fact in a normal environment you also see the priority. So you can prioritize your work items and do what should be done first. Now, as you probably remember, it was a task with ID of 10. So we are going to open that task now. Just go to team, go to work item, and ID was 10. Yeah, you have to remember IDs of your work items time after time. Well, remember for a few seconds. It's not like today you're going home and remember that tomorrow you should start working on work item with ID 615. No, but in this particular case, when I've closed the task, I still remember it was ID 10. And now the only way to go to that work item from menu team is by selecting its ID. Actually, to typing this ID, not selecting from the list. So it's 10, okay, here we are. And here you will see the associations done by Team Foundation server for you. If you go to all links, you will see the linked changes. And here the only one that you see now is change set. The change set is the collection of all changes you've done during your check-in. So it was change set 23, and all these change sets are then associated to builds when TFS is building your projects. And when build is marked as release, in release notes you will see that this release is linked to this change sets, and change sets means your check-ins, and these check-ins change sets are linked to tasks linked to either backlog items or bugs or whatever that has to be done. So in the end you see the direct link between what was shipped to the customer and what was requested by customer. It really helps in creating the documentation for each release. And for example, in Scrum methodology, you are performing releases each sprint. Sprint is about 2 to 3 weeks. Actually 2 to 4 weeks, so every 2 or 3 weeks you are performing some intermediate release, and you must also create some sort of documentation for it, like what was done, what backlog items or customer requests were performed and fulfilled, what bugs were solved, and so on. So this linking is very, very helpful. So what we see here is a change set 23. And all lists here in TFS are active, so you can double click it, and you see what was done by you during the check-in. So that's why your comment is quite important. You cannot change it here, it's just read only. Cancel. So that's how it works. We'll continue with that, and just to show you a bit more of it, let's go to our source control. You will see how it looks like. Pretty much like a repository in a source safe. And what we'll do now, we will apply a label to our shapes folder. I'll speak about what labels are just in a second. And the label will state that area property is implemented, and that I've added the area property to the rectangle glass scene shapes project. And I will add this label. Well, actually I'm adding this label not to the folder, of course, but to one of the objects within this folder, and in this case well, linked to the projects in this folder. And in this case it will be change set, and change set was 23. At least in this case we can find it. Yes, it was 23 exactly. And so we are creating it. We can either create or create and edit, but I'm just creating it. Very good. And now when I right-click this folder and I'm selecting View History, and there are change sets, and there will be a huge amount of change sets in your real environment. But there is also labels, and there are labels which says that, well, it's like milestones, so you put them like milestones, and when time after time you need to see the well, it serves like a bookmark, you know. So we've implemented this feature where we've done what we wanted to do, or now this application is working on Google Chrome, or now this application is capable of running on mobile phones, etc., etc. The label can state whatever you want, whatever is useful for you. So if change set is about what you've done, label is like more free form, and you don't have to put labels every time you are performing change sets. So it's extremely useful feature, but I haven't seen it used much in real world environment, probably perhaps because people are not aware of it, or don't think about it during the work, but really the ones who are using it, they benefit from it. So I think it's like it for the first presentation, and on second one. On second one we are going to talk about source control as well. It will be a more hardcore source control, more advanced one, and I hope you will enjoy it. Well, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.